Hello everyone, my name is Ryan and welcome back to Get Decked. Today I wanted to go over a topic that I think is super important when it comes to cruising and traveling in general. We have all had less than desirable experiences when we've been out cruising. I wanted to go over the top 7 things that smart cruisers do when enjoying their well-deserved time away from the grind. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you love our videos. And as always, Abby and I appreciate and love you all. Without putting it off any longer, let's get into it. The number one thing a smart cruiser does is show up a day early to the port. If you've ever flown, then you know that delays and cancellations are all too common in our travels. Take, for example, the near collapse of the Southwest Airlines recently during a large winter storm moving across the United States during Christmas. The pictures of angry passengers will still keep me awake at night. Now imagine you're trying to get to your vacation. You have your bags all packed and are waiting at the airport to see the dreaded words next to your flight number. Delayed or even canceled. Now if you're flying the day of your cruise, you likely have mere hours in between your arrival and the departure of the ship. This leaves very little margin for error. The ship will leave without you. They have thousands of passengers itching to feel the sand between their toes and margaritas in their hands. The number one way you can avoid being left behind is show up a day early. Take your time, get some breakfast, get some coffee, make your way down to the port. Now for number 2 on the list of things smart cruisers do. Sail with your passport, not your birth certificate. While many closed-loop sailings leave the United States sailing abroad, then returning only require you to have a birth certificate and government ID. Sailing with a passport can make your life so much easier. Many times, like our recent trip from Port Canaveral to the Caribbean, customs at disembarkation uses facial recognition tied to your passport that speeds up the entire process. On the other hand, sailing with your passport is a great idea in the event of an emergency where you need to disembark the ship in a foreign country and need to get home. We've all seen the videos of pier runners chasing leaving ships. Imagine the hassle of dealing with the embassy and the State Department trying to get home without having your passport. Coming in at number 3 on the things smart cruisers do, carry travel insurance. While the odds of needing to use your travel insurance are low, they're not nil. Accidents and emergencies happen everywhere. Most travel insurance will cover the cost of medical attention needed on a ship or at a hospital overseas in a port. This is smart because the cost of medical attention adds up quickly, let alone if you need a medical evacuation off the ship itself. On a recent cruise to Alaska, a cruiser needed to be evacuated from the ship, and with no port near, the ship turned around and headed the opposite direction to meet up with a Canadian Coast Guard helicopter, then had to be winched off the deck in a basket to get them to the necessary level of care that they needed. I've seen some medical bills here recently. I can only imagine how much that ended up costing them. Just like number 1 on our list, in the event your flight gets delayed or canceled, the travel insurance can help recover the lost investment in your vacation. While travel insurance is not free, the minimal cost of 2 to 10% can save you thousands of dollars in the long run. In my opinion, even at 10%, the money it could save me is well worth the cost. Now on to number 4. Smart cruisers always do their research when it comes to the drink packages. Abby recently did a video on the NCL drink packages and their promotion of free at sea. Despite the name of free at sea, it's not actually free. It actually costs about $300 per couple for gratuities. For some that drink, $300 is far less than what they would spend on drinks for that sailing. But for others like myself, who drink several Red Bulls, it doesn't make any sense. Some cruise lines require that if one passenger has a drink package, everybody in that room is required to have a drink package as well. If you're sailing with your husband or wife who doesn't drink, it may not make sense, or it might, but that's completely up to you. Make sure you read that fine print. Some other cruise lines like Carnival have a drink limit. I believe it was 15 a while back, and I just saw something here recently. Does the cost of that drink package add up to what you're paying for 12 drinks a day? Make sure you do the math. Now for number 5 on the list of what smart cruisers do. They're always mindful of where their stateroom is located. Many factors come to mind when speaking about staterooms, but for this tip, we'll focus on location. When considering the location of your stateroom, consider where it is on the ship in regard to what activities you might enjoy most. For instance, if you want to go to the spa, make sure you do research on where the spa is located. The smart cruisers are always booking their rooms at the end of halls. Hallways and elevators can get loud. People getting off and on, and everybody's been drinking all day long. Smart cruisers tend to book their rooms near the ends of the hallway, as there's far less traffic. Some of the other considerations when it comes to location of your stateroom include how far are the elevators? How far is the main dining hall? Do you have small children? Now for number 6, booking your reservations ahead of time. And this one hits home because I made this mistake recently. Smart cruisers are always looking to save a bit of coin, and many times discounts are given to those cruisers who book drinks, spa, and internet packages ahead of time. Some of those discounts can add up to upwards of 30%. I don't know about you, but 30% adds up quickly. Once you get on the ship, everything goes up in price. Another note about reservations: many of the main cruise line brands allow you to reserve tables at restaurants days or even months ahead of time. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Recently on a Norwegian ship, we were unable to get any reservation for restaurants. I had to hike my butt down elevators, stairs, get to the restaurant, and flash this beautiful face in front of a hostess to try and get a table. Luckily, she was able to find me a table, but unfortunately it was super late at night. Don't be like me. Make your reservations ahead of time. It'll save you a lot of time and hassle. Last but nowhere near least, number 7 on our list of things smart cruisers do: budget your money. Say that I spend $5,000 for my wife and I to book a cruise. The research shows that we will spend $1,500 to $2,000 aboard the ship, either in entertainment, drinks, or duty-free. Always be mindful to budget your spending and keep an eye on your onboard account while on the ship. Most, if not all, modern cruise lines track spending on your key card or bracelet that will be billed at the end of sailing. Keeping an eye on this account will save you some heartache in the long run. It is much easier to handle an erroneous charge for a beer you didn't drink while on the ship with customer service than it is trying to handle that charge after you've disembarked. I hope that all these tips were helpful to you and save you some pain on your next cruise. Let us know what you think of these tips and tricks, or anything that we may have missed. We love and appreciate you all, and until next time, get decked.